Fanchoi Productions replaced the starter on one of our units based on a repair shop's recommendation. This was in the spring of 2022. The batteries and all other electrical connections seemed good, yet the truck would only give out a click when the ignition key was turned. Shop's mobile guy arrived on the lot, looked under the hood, slid beneath the truck, and came to a conclusion. He looked at us in all seriousness and said, "You need a new starter." When he left, we made the decision to swap the starter motor out ourselves. Long story short, once the new starter was installed correctly, the truck ignition gave out the exact same click. Turns out that the mobile repair guy had handed us a misdiagnosis. The old starter was apparently okay. We packed it up and put it aside to be used later if needed. Was the truck's issue the ignition? Was it some temporary electrical problem? Still don't know as of now. We bypassed the ignition through the fuse box for a week or so, and since then, the truck has been starting normally. This is literally what you call pushing the problem up the road a bit. Maybe we'll find out what went wrong later. We are not picking on that diesel repair shop. Mistakes in troubleshooting can happen to anybody, including the most competent mechanics. We learned what little we know from other shade tree mechanics videos, instruction manuals, asking lots of questions of other owner-ops, and trial and error. But think about it, if we'd hired that shop to replace the starter, and it was just a lateral move that didn't solve the problem, they would have kept changing out parts and accumulating labor hours. They'd have got the truck running at a high price to us. The repairman who is out to be a parts replacer, instead of properly figuring out the real problem, can cost the truck operator time and money
emotional damage.
And all of that is an understatement. They want to make a living, cover their insurance and overhead, and maybe take a sweet vacation off of us. You, as a truck owner, understand that. That means it is up to you to protect yourself. One of the best ways to do that is, know your own equipment. Even if you don't do your own repairs, you want to search out how much parts cost for whatever it is that you run. You want to know the labor hour estimates to put those parts on, and for basic maintenance. You'll start to see that doing your own oil change, oil filter and fuel filter, for example, will cut your preventative maintenance bill almost in half, depending on where you go. All you do is purchase those parts yourself and spend a few hours a month, and it will improve your bottom line as well as familiarize you with the equipment that gets you paid in the first place. When you buy the items, go ahead and comparison shop. Your dealership's oil filter might be 10 or 20 bucks more than a local parts store that has truck supplies. Online stores have prices for parts that wildly vary. Never assume you have the inside track on a deal. Stay hungry to gather info of all kinds, from price increases to supplier manufacturer closings. The starter we put in was about $400, and you'll pay about that much again in labor for a total of $700 plus. Once you know prices and how to be a better consumer, you'll improve in finding the right repair persons or just avoid being outright scammed. Of course, when you are caught out on the road and need a fix, there will be times when you get run up a flagpole, so to speak, credit card go boom. Other than the catastrophic roadside repair or blown steer tire, things which only a few of us could handle on our own, your aim should be to get yourself out of a situation out there. Be able to patch up the truck enough to get the load on or off you, move the vehicle out of the flow of traffic, or reach your home or parking area. Then you might have elbow room to deal with things more thoroughly. If you can just reach that point, you'll keep that bank account from being battered quite as often. Also, you will have more of a sense of well-being, a decrease in the stress that comes with trucking in general. More control of your business, instead of always putting your truck in someone else's hands. That way, when people run up on you popping off about how they think you're suffering as an owner-operator because of rising fuel prices or whatever, you'll understand that they are just there to discourage you. You will have a confidence that you can adjust to circumstances beyond your reach, such as economic letdowns or unexpected repair setbacks. Even if you can take the truck apart and put it back together successfully, don't burn bridges with your local mechanics once you link up with them, unless they are total thieves or bums. Learn from the people around you by asking questions constantly. Keep your relations strong in the trucking industry. You can't do it all alone.